Hope everybody's being safe out there, making some money. Let me turn the beast off. Take the shades off. As you can tell, we've been getting some sun out here on the West Coast. All right, we're still in El Paso, unfortunately, because we have to get to Dallas to do our cabs class for Landstar, and we have to get to, I want to get around Dallas Fort Worth, and I just have a really hard time moving the truck for cheap. So we were able to find not a good load, but good enough to where we're not taking it in the shorts, and we'll make a little money. That's going to take us to just outside Dallas to Ennis. Not sure how you pronounce that, but Ennis, Texas.
Run some of that high-speed chicken feed.
We'll turn that off. He said, "Where's the high-speed chicken feed at, man?" It's in a Red Bull can inside the store, driver. Alright, so let me get serious with y'all for a minute. I met a guy over here who's dropping the trailer so they could load it up. Young cat, just been driving, right? He saw my truck, and she's just looking so pretty. And he goes, "Oh man," he says, "is that your truck?" I said, "Yeah, it's my truck." "Oh, you're an owner op?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Oh man," he says, I'm gonna try to get into that next year." He said, "I want to be an owner op. That's where it's at." And I said, "Well, how long have you been?" He drives for night. I said, "How long have you been driving for night?" He said, "Oh, not quite a year yet." He said, "I got my license about 8 months ago. I've been driving for them. I'm just trying to get my year in, and then I'm gonna go buy a truck and just be an owner op." I told him, I said, "Man," I said, "I'll be honest with you." I said, "I got my license. I'm 28. I got my license when I was 21 in 2011. 22. He said, "Oh, you've been driving ever since?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I've been driving." I said, "Take your time, you know." And then we just kind of left it at that. But I wrote down some stuff here I want to share with y'all. Things to kind of think of and what you need to know before you become an owner op. Because even when I became an owner operator, my dad, who had already been an owner op and grew up in trucking, I've always been around trucking, and he had been running his own rig for a couple years before I got into it, and that's what has made it easier for me. And I tell you what, it's hard. It is, you know, there's a lot out here where it's separate from the truck, and you just all about, you got to take care of your business, you know, your business entity. You've got the truck to worry about, you got the company you're leased to or running for, or you're taking care of your own stuff, and then you got your personal finances to deal with. And sometimes it can be a lot, you know. Excuse me. So I just do this thing, you know, things to know before going out to be an owner op. Like I was telling him, be patient. A lot of these company guys, man, I was just watching a guy yesterday, says KB's paying 50 cents a mile. 50 cents a mile that's damn good money, you know, especially for driving somebody else's equipment, pulling their wagon, getting all the bennies and all that good jazz, you know. Out here, I pay for all that myself. Well, I don't pay for it. Well, yeah, I do. My business pays for it, right? So my 401k, my portion of my federal and state taxes that the business has to pay, my health insurance, my dental, my eye, on top of my payroll, and the fees it costs me to run my payroll. Boy, I just tell you, it adds up. It adds up. I can just tell you, it's about a quarter on top of what my pay is. It's about 27% more by the time I pay all my health insurance and the products that the business has to pay for. On top of my payroll, about 27 to 30% week in and week out by the time it's all said and done. So, but it's nice at the end of the year, because I W-2 myself. It's really easy for me to file my personal taxes, and on top of that, it allows me to write it all off. So we won't get too crazy into that. That's a whole different topic, how to run your business, right? That is a whole different thing. So be patient. If you're a company guy and you've only been doing it for less than a year or two, just keep hammering away. Be patient. Save your money. So that you don't do these lease purchase things they got out here, guys. I know I've heard some are better than what they used to be, but still, you're paying for somebody else's rig, you know, that they say is yours, yet you can't take it and go somewhere else and make money with it. If you can't take that truck and put it on somewhere else where the money is, it's not your truck. Just because they say, oh, you're an owner operator now. No. You want to sit down and really go through those. I haven't met somebody, I mean, they're making it work, you know, and they go through the grind to get a truck paid for. But the whole time they're paying for that truck, you've got company guys out here, especially right now, that they're taking more money home at the end of the week, you know. And if you can save a little bit to go and then put that money down on a truck, a used truck, and be able to take it where you want to, then you can make real money. I mean, real money. So save up. If at all possible, stay away from the lease purchase. Get your credit in good shape, because we all know how important that is, and it can take some time. Trust me, guys, I know I fell all the way down to like a 530 or 500 score, you know, when I got into trucking, because I was a mechanic. I was making over $1,000 a week. I started trucking, and Warner was paying me $250 a week to train in 2011. Let me tell you what, you go from $1,000 a week to $250 a week, stuff gets crazy, man. Credit cards got overdue, bank accounts went negative, everything went belly up. I had to start over. So I know how it is. Now I have great credit, you know, and it's helped me out a lot. So if you can get your credit good, save up some money, and go buy a truck, that's the best way to do it. And to set up an LLC. Doing it as a DBA limits you in what you can write off. If you have a separate entity, there's no cap, that I found anyway, on what you can write off, as long as it is business related. And stuff like equipment, there's no cap to tell you how much you can spend on equipment, and you know, your shoes and your stuff for the truck, tools, all that jazz. And good accounting. Got to have your finances right, you know what I mean? You need to know what it costs you to live every month, and have that set in stone. Hey, this is what I have to make every week to pay my bills and have a little money in my pocket. And have a good bookkeeper, because when you do get out here and you go from making $1,000 a week to $4,000 a week, everybody's like, oh man, I got all that money. More money, more problems, as Biggie Smalls used to say, right? So you want good accounting. You want somebody to keep track of your books. I'm just a driver. You know, if you come from accounting, I came from a mechanic background, so it allows me to take care of my truck easier, and the trailer know what I'm looking at. But if you come from an accounting background, or numbers, or business, you know, then you can do that on your own. I pay somebody to keep my business books. Like I said, I pay myself. Know your expenses, and know what you need to make per mile or per week. I got a buddy, he does it by the mile. I have a gross revenue that I hit. I'll sit to get the better load. I won't haul cheap freight, because it doesn't pay you to move down the road. And if you're not making money, then you're losing money, right? So you need to know what you need to make, and make that. Know your expenses, and then, like I said, set small goals, right? Company guy, all right, you go out, they tell you, okay, you need $8,000 to buy this $50,000 truck. There's your goal, right? Get that money, get an LLC set up, get you an accountant, then go down, find you a place where you want to put that truck on, know the company you're going to go put it on with, talk to some of their drivers that you see out here that are pulling for them, you know, Google them, get reviews on them, and then go get that truck, and then put it on, and then start making money, right? And then know what it costs you. The best thing you can do, and a lot of guys that I ask out here, either they have no idea what it costs them to run their truck, or they're just I met some that are really meticulous, make me look like I need to step up my game. But know what it costs to run your truck. And by what I mean by that is you're part of your truck, right? So you need to know what this truck needs to run for. Like I said, either per mile or at the end of the week. Like, hey, I need to run for $2 a mile to the truck. Or, hey, I got to gross. You know, my fuel bill out goes between $1,500 and $1,800. At the end of the week, I need to gross $6,000 so that I can pocket $4,000, and that covers my expenses. So I hope some of what I said will help somebody out. I don't mean to discourage anybody, but it took me 6 years to get into my first truck, and I had help. Not only getting a truck, but after I got my truck, I was able to follow my dad's footsteps, because what he was doing was working. Use his connections, and if you got that, then use it, right? If you know somebody that you trust, and it's working out for them, and they've been doing it for a couple years, there's nothing that says you can't ride somebody's coattails, you know? Hey, if he's using, you know, this person, and they're doing him good, they're keeping his book straight, and he's making money, you know, then I would do that. But take it easy, and the best thing you can do is be patient. You know, I know a lot of guys out here, that's what they want to be as owner-ops. They want to have their own truck, they want the freedom, and it is nice. I can never go back to being a company man. I love trucking, and I love the freedom of being an owner-op, or a true owner-op. You know, if it doesn't work here, I'll move my truck to another company. I truly run where I want to run. I go home when I want to go home, and for how long I want to go home. Dispatchers don't hit me up. They don't tell me how many days I occur every month. If I want to run for a week and then go home for 2, there's nobody out here to tell me that. But unfortunately, my goals keep me out 3 weeks at a time, and then I'm usually home for a week or 7 to 10 days. Depends on how long I want to be home for. So like I said, I hope the video helped, and y'all stay safe out there. Have fun. Hey guys, so there she is. That's a picture of my first truck, my 08 Columbia. Good running rig, man. Love that truck.